Good morning to all. This is next lecture on proposition and logic. Next we are doing is the principle of duality. The duality principle says that we can write compound proposition expressions into dual form. How? The compound proposition that contains the logical operators disjunction, conjunction and negation, they may be the duality of those expression may be obtained by replacing each disjunction by conjunction, conjunction by disjunction, true by false and false by true. Then the expression we get is the dual expression of the original expression. So this is principle of duality. In this case, you can see the example of dual of S. S is one expression that contains disjunction and conjunction. Then disjunction will be converted to conjunction and conjunction will be converted to disjunction. If an expression contains true or false, they may be reversed, means true by false and false by true. One important thing is this, that you don't have to change the negation. Negation will remain the same. So if in earlier in set theory we also had principle of duality, in which union is converted to intersection, intersection to union, and universal to phi and phi to universal. But in that case also complement of a set remains complement, so that in this case also negation becomes negation, it will not be changed. Fine. Next we are doing fundamental disjunction. Now we are starting heading towards the canonical form, so that these are the basic things, very important thing now. Fundamental disjunction, a disjunction of statement, variable and or their negation is called fundamental disjunction. Look at this. You are saying P, negation P, P or negation P, P or Q, negation P or Q. So many you can find, you can do, means negation Q, P or negation Q, they are all fundamental disjunction. If we are considering two variables P and Q, then variable and or, you are saying and or, look, you're saying and or means either variable simple P or its negation, that is negation P, then yeah, otherwise P or negation P, P or Q, but बीच में क्या आना है, disjunction. These are called fundamental disjunction. So that आप देख सकते हैं कई सारी बातें हैं इसमें. You can see P, you can see I'm telling P, negation P, negation P, P or Q, P or negation Q, negation P or Q, negation P, negation P or negation Q. These are all fundamental, negation Q, Q. These are all fundamental disjunction. Important thing is we have to use disjunction between the variable or its negation. Fine. So that what we are doing fundamental disjunction. So these are examples of fundamental disjunction. Now fundamental conjunction, similarly we can define fundamental conjunction, that is P and negation P, P and Q, negation P and Q, means in between we have to use conjunction. Fine. Now next related to this is minterms. Minterm is what? Conjunction of propositional variable where each variable appears only once. either as variable or its negation. Each minterm has truth value t corresponding to exactly one row in its truth table. Fine. Look. Now, what is the difference between fundamental conjunction and minterm? Minterm, you say min. Min means come. Less. Less will be intersection. Intersection is related to conjunction. So that minterms means you are taking some fundamental conjunctions. And how? What is the restriction? That you don't have to use variable and its negation in one term. That is, you cannot take p and negation p now. This is not a minterm. Mind it, this is not a minterm. Otherwise, you can see minterms are very clear. Minterms are p and q, p and negation q, negation p and q, negation p, negation q, but p and negation p is not allowed. So that one variable is allowed either as a variable or its negation, not both. So that q intersect q and negation q is also not a minterm. You don't have to use this. This is important thing. So that what the difference between fundamental conjunction and minterm is that p and negation p, you can see p and negation p is allowed in fundamental conjunctions, but it is not allowed in minterm. So that these are concept of minterm. Similarly, max terms. Max terms means fundamental disjunction. Same concept is this. Fundamental disjunction means you don't have to take p or p or negation p. This is not a max term. Max term, max means maximum. Maximum means either or का केस, either or मतलब disjunction. So that disjunction ही लेने हैं, fundamental disjunction लेने हैं, लेकिन p और negation p दोनों एक साथ नहीं आने हैं. Similarly, q और negation q will not be a max term. So that these two terms should be excluded. Fine. This is concept of max term. Now, one important thing is written here. Look at this. Look at this statement. The complement of a minterm is respective max term. You can see, you can use De Morgan law. This is De Morgan's law. This is De Morgan's law. Negation of this is what? This is minterm. This is minterm. So minterm का negation is what? Using De Morgan law, we are getting a max term. So that minterm का negation आप जब लेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा हमें? Max term मिलेगा. Fine. So that this is important thing. Now we are moving towards normal forms, that is canonical form. That's very important thing, and at least one sum will be there in your midterm exams or university exams. Yeah. So first of all, we are having disjunctive normal form, that is DNF. What is that? First of all, we are taking definition. A proposition form which contains disjunction, means sum of fundamental conjunction, is called disjunctive normal form. First of all, a proposition form, it is actually a proposition form, means an expression which contains a disjunction sum of fundamental conjunctions, is called disjunctive normal form. Fine. So that this is sum means disjunction of conjunctions. Look at this, these are fundamental conjunctions, and we are taking sum of fundamental conjunctions. So ब्रैकेट के अंदर क्या रहेंगे? कंजंक्शन, और ब्रैकेट के बीच में क्या रहेगा? डिसजंक्शन. ठीक है. सो दैट दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. अगेन वन मोर एग्जांपल इज गिवन, दैट p एंड नेगेशन q एंड p एंड r, बीच में क्या लगा है? डिसजंक्शन. सो दैट दिस इज एग्जांपल ऑफ DNF. अब जो हम बात कर रहे हैं कि अगर हम फंडामेंटल कंजंक्शंस ले रहे हैं ब्रैकेट के अंदर, अगर ये फंडामेंटल कंजंक्शन क्या बन जाएं, क्या हो जाएं? ये मिन टर्म्स. लुक एट दिस, अगर ये मिन टर्म्स हो मीन्स ये जो ब्रैकेटेड है ये अगर मिन टर्म्स हैं तो जो डीएनएफ है वो क्या कहलाएगी, प्रिंसिपल disjunctive normal form, that is pdnf. That is very important thing, so that we don't have to choose any specific procedure for pdnf. We will simply find dnf, that is disjunctive normal form, and if in answer we are getting min terms in brackets, that is sum of min terms is pdnf. You can see, look, summarize, I'm summarizing it. Min terms is pdnf. Fundamental conjunction is dnf. Fine, this is the summary. Fine, it's very important thing, you don't have to take any specific step for pdnf, you have to go with dnf. Fine, now one example is given, and I am telling the procedure to find dnf is through truth table. You can see I'm telling the procedure using truth table because it's much easier for you. Now one example, we are finding dnf of this expression. So that what we have done, we have made a truth table for this. You know how to make truth table. Now fine, now you can see in the truth table what we are doing is we are making yes, now we have made truth table for this. Truth table means as you know truth table. And now please rectify this. The last column is this one. This is last column. I have forgotten this to write this, so please make it clear that this is truth table. Now how to find dnf? Okay, you can make this correction in your notes, that this is negation p implies r, and means this expression, this expression only is written in the last column, as you know in truth table what we do. Now how to find dnf? We have to take the last column, that is of the truth table, and we have to find the t, that is true values. These are 3 true values corresponding to these pqr, the propositional variable. You have to mark this, you have to mark this, you have to mark this. Fine. Now how to find dnf? Now look at this. First t corresponding to this t means all are true, so that it is p and q and r. Fine. Disjunction, because we are doing dnf, so it is sum of conjunctions, fundamental conjunctions, so that sum means or. Now again second t, look at this, second t is ttf, so that p and q will be same, no problem. But f means r is false, so that we have to make true, that is negation of r. Now the third t, it is fft, so that negation p, because we have to make it true, so negation t, negation p, negation q and r, so that negation p, negation q and r. Fine, so that this is dnf, this is dnf. Fine, so in this way we can find dnf. One more example for 2 variable, that is again good example. We are finding dnf, we are finding pdnf. In fact, look, we are finding pdnf, but we are not following any specific procedure for this. We are making truth table of this, as we know. Now there are 2t, and these are 2 assumptions. Fine, so that look, false false, false false, so that both are same, so that we don't have to write twice. What we are doing, why false false, so that negation of negation of P or Q. So negation of P or Q. So negation cancel, and negation of, look, negation P or Q implies what? P or Q. It is written here. Again, negation of P and Q. So it is negation P or Q using De Morgan law. Fine. Now we have to use, since what we have done, it is not sum of conjunctions. It is not in DNF form. So that we have to use what? Associative law or commutative law or distributive law. Here we have used distributive law. Look, this is distributive law. Once it is used here, and again it is used here. So that after using distributive law, we have got, since, look at this, P and negation P and Q and negation Q. This is Q and negation Q. Last, Q and negation Q. So this is false. So that remaining terms are only this, and these are min terms. Actually, you can see these are min terms. So that this is sum of min terms. So this is automatically what? PDNF. Fine. What we are getting? We are getting min terms in brackets automatically. Then what we have done? It is PDNF. If we find fundamental conjunctions, then it will be DNF. Now it is PDNF. Fine. In next lecture we will be finding CNF and PCNF. Thank you.